Hi everyone, hope you're doing well from wherever you're watching this channel, depending on your time zone. Now, we are all aware that there is fertilizer that Kenyan government got from Russia. This fertilizer was not for sale. Russia gave it free. So they expected that Kenyan government is going to distribute this fertilizer to the farmers free of charge. And if there is charges, then it should be just for facilitation. But William Samoei Ruto managed to convince and confuse farmers in this country that he's going to offer them subsidized fertilizer. That means they're going to sell it but on a cheaper price. But again, at the end of the day, he ended up even selling it more expensive compared to what the immediate retired President Uhuru Kenyatta offered in April. So all this we put together. We are all aware that farmers are harvesting. We have those who bought the fertilizer. Some have used, some are yet to use it. But the main reason why Ruto came with the issue of fertilizer, it was all about to have enough harvest with a little input, according to him. Because then the fertilizer is, when you deal with the issue of fertilizer, then you are sorting out the high expense on production. So the intended end game was to have enough harvest, keep it in store for future, and for that reason, you will have sorted out the issue of hunger and food security. Because as of now, we don't have enough food. Kenya is a country that is food insecurity as of now. But despite all this, the emerging news is that the government of Kenya is now in a new game to make sure that the NCPB stores are not going to operate at all. And what are they doing? As of now, there is allegation that the government is now leasing the NCPB warehouses and silos to business people who are now using it as a supermarket. They are turning these stores into supermarket. And Robert Alai has pointed out Gilani Supermarket, which is turning a number of warehouses into supermarket. This is what he posted. Why is Gilani's converting NCPB warehouse into supermarket? Bwana President William Ruto. Kisumu, Migori and Mombasa NCPB warehouse taken over by Gilani's supermarket. Do we need more supermarkets than food warehouse? A war. Watu wa Kisumu, Mombasa na mseme hiyo mambo na Migori. Tuambieni, is it true on what Robert Alai is pointing out? And why so? Now, there are several reasons why Ruto is allowing all these things to happen under his watch. And before we go deep into that, just a quick request for those who are watching and you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing. To all returning subscribers, thank you so much. And again, to all our viewers, please give this video a thumbs up. Thank you, and back to this discussion. Now, here is the truth of the matter. Everything and anything that is happening in this government is not an accident. These are issues that this government is doing intentionally to make NCPB stores or warehouse to be idle, to avoid serving its intended reason. Once we make them idle, they are not doing their job, then there will be a reason to why, instead of them staying idle, you rent out to other people to use it and then generate some little resources here and there from rent. So that is what they are doing here. Make them idle so that there's no any cereal that is being stored in these silos. Once you do this, you make Kenya as a country food insecure. There's no food security at all. Because if you don't have food in these stores, how do you tell the future of this country in the next 6 months if there will be enough food? So once these NCPB stores are not operational, it means you have gathered the farmer. They will have nowhere to sell their produce. We saw it happening. The farmers were crying. They have harvested maize, nowhere to sell. So when they lack where to sell because now you have rented these properties, what next? You are opening door for cartels to start importing maize and other cereals into this country because there is no food security. That is the end game. So in simple terms, what Robert Alai is not saying directly is that this government is closing the door for farmers in this country and opening another door for cartels. Because when cartels import maize, they are selling it direct to the millers or those people who are going to sell to the market, because for them they will just bring here, and then those who will buy on wholesale price, they will buy, then they go and retail it. So they just bring it direct to the market. Nothing is going to the store. So once you remove the NCPB operations, you have opened a vacuum for cartels. These cartels have owners, and the owners are always in the government. They have their percentages. For example, the other day I saw the government allowing importation of sugar into this country. For those people who are selling sugar, wana wako na maduka, I want to tell me if when such a window is opened, you can directly import your own sugar to this country. Is it possible? Can you go to Uganda and import your sugar because they have opened the window? The answer is no. Utashikwa. Tuko na watu specific ambao wanapewa hiyo nafasi ya kuleta sukari hapa, wapate faida yao. Lakini yule muuzaji wa kawaida hana hiyo nafasi. So it is a business, it's an industry for specific people, not everyone. Hawa watu wanatafuta pesa ya kura, pesa ya campaign. And at the same point, wanaumiza mkulima wa kawaida, wanaua mkulima Mkenya in this country at expense of promoting other people in the name of collecting resources. So, wakati utaona wanakuja na pesa ya handout during the campaign, just understand where it is coming from. They simply strangled a Kenyan farmer. When you see them running booming business here, please understand how they are getting to that level. If you see them making quick money, understand this is one of the schemes they are using to do all those kind of business. Because NCPB, it was here, number one, to help farmer, and number two, to also help the consumer. How was it helping farmer? At least the government will buy the cereals from the farmer on a fair price, wasiwafinye sana, so that they can have return for their investment. And then when they're releasing this cereal to the market, wakati vyakula zinapungua, they normally release it on a friendly price to the consumer. Again, the consumer will not suffer that much because they still were using the taxpayers' money to do so. That means both the farmer and the consumer interest has been taken care of. Hivyo tu. So today, if they will bring maize here from outside, yes, the price will gradually go down. But where have you left the Kenyan farmer? You will force the Kenyan farmer to sell their produce at a very low cost, and maybe because of the high input mbolea yenye Ruto anadanganya ameweka pale subsidy na hakuna, then paying workers, you end up going a loss at the end of the day. Then in the next year, you will never go back to your land to do farming. Kuna watu wengine wamepanda mahindi huko nje kwa hizi nchi zingine hapa, wanataka kuleta Kenya wauze. Watauza na njia gani kama kutakuwa na mahindi kwa store? Kill them. Rent them out so that now people are running supermarket in those warehouses, in the silos. There is no store to buy maize. Wakati wale wazee wa Eldoret walikuwa wanasema kwamba watu wanakula. Wanakula. It is true. Na hii serikali ni ya kukula. Watakula wakulima kabisa. Na mtu mwenye ataumia zaidi ni mkulima wa kawaida. Another problem will be that Kenya will be a consumer nation, country, but not a producer. And once you are only a consumer, then the value of shilling is going to drop. Uwezo ama uzito wa shilingi kwa dola unaenda kuanguka. The reservation of dollar is not going to be stable. Then at the end of the day, Kenyan shilling is going to lose value in the market because they are only consuming but not producing to export. They literally become just importers. So, angalia hapo alafu tuambie mheshimiwa Ruto anatupeleka wapi kwa hii nchi jameni. I am lost.